Hello everybody. We have a game with the black pieces on our rapid speed run against Savaromko. He's rated 1400. How do 1400s on Lee chess play against the Pirc defense? First we attack a pawn. What do? They defend with a pawn. The most solid way to defend the pawn, not the most solid way to defend your king, but no way to take advantage of it, so it's perfectly fine. We'll play g6 because that's the speed run. Keep in mind the Pirc is quite passive. You have to play it very aggressively once you're set up. He does this super solid setup so he doesn't hang anything, but we're just going to continue with our theme, get the starting position. And now what do we want to do? We have our starting position. Let's see. Okay, first we'll develop a knight to the center, protect the knight, reinforce it, support some pawn breaks, right? So that's a good move. He develops his knight. I think now we can throw in a free improving move, hitting the bishop, creating some space for the king, putting his bishop to a shorter diagonal. You have lots of moves here. c5, e5, g5 is interesting. Do we go g5? I mean, let's just go e5 though. Yeah, let's just go e5, keep it simple. He's not stopping us from putting the pawn on the e5 square. Sure, we self-pin, but he can't use it because, we're more than defended 3 times, and we have g5, so. He pushes past, and now his bishop is crying. So he's locking things up, which is weird, but possible. You can go c6, g5, knight c5, a5. All interesting. Let's stay central focused. Let's go with c6. g5 is so tempting, but I don't really know, because I don't play the Pirc, I don't really know anything about it, what it leads to. I'm sure it's playable though, but let's just stick with c6. He defends with a pawn. I suppose that's fine. But now we'll improve a piece for free as it attacks a hanging bishop and gets out of the way of our bishop, which can't really go anywhere. He retreats the bishop to try to dominate our knight 3 squares away. Fine. We can try to solidify our knight on this square by pushing a5. I think we'll do that. It's a common idea in King's Indian, any Indian, Old Indian, Queen's Indian. So maybe he tries to prepare the push anyway. That's fair. So let's go a4. That way if he pushes, we can en passant, which will solidify our knight by making it an outpost square. He does it anyway, but we were prepared to en passant, and now our knight cannot be harassed by a pawn. He can try to trade it with a knight, however, but we are up a pawn, but then he'll take it back, so we're not up a pawn. And I mean, he's more or less trying to kill the game or something, but I suppose we can take, so we don't mess up our pawn structure. We have alternatives maybe, but let's take it because the bishop's not, particularly good here. It's not like we're helping him. It's in the way of his b rook. There's lots of space over here. Maybe I can get in there. Maybe I lock things up So he has no counterplay down the middle ever on my d6 pawn, and his light square bishop looks dumb. It's possible. Otherwise, g5, bishop back, knight in. Okay, let's go g5 and gain space. Break the pin. He goes back. I want to go here. I also want to lock the position. I also want to go queen a5. Okay, so queen a5 is the check. If he blocks with the queen, do I want to trade? Not particularly, but it is a free developing move. So let's throw it in. And if I don't want to trade, I'll just won't move. I'll just leave my queen here, and he can trade. Bring my rook up. It'll provide easy doubling against an isolated a3 pawn. Of course, he can push it and protect it by the bishop, but that just ruins his bishop. So he moves the king opposite my rook. Also opposite tactics if my rook was open, which it's not. But he moved his king. So that allows me to infiltrate, but the queen alone. I mean, in any case, let's get rid of this knight, right? We can throw it in here. We can now play a5, and we have queen here. So these are my ideas. Okay, we no longer have queen infiltration. He's also supporting this square. But if we jump this in, he takes with the knight, we win a bishop, rook in the corner as well. If he takes with the bishop, if you take with the e-pawn, he just moves his rook. You have a queen check on c5, but whatever. So instead you take with the f-pawn, try to checkmate him somehow. I mean, we can still start with queen c5 check. Where does his king go? Here? Let's start with this check. Now the pawn is also hanging because the queen's not in front. It's a centralizing move. It creates a problem for white because if he goes back, I mean, not only can he castle anyway because he moved his king, but it disconnects the rooks. It's a bit odd. Okay. There's this pawn hanging. I don't really care about a pawn on the queen side, but it does get my rook in with pressure. But then my pawn in this middle might be hanging. Although not really, because his bishop's tethered to the queen. I mean, I kind of have a lock on the position. So, I could do whatever I want. Might as well. Also, the queen is technically defending that pawn from that square. So he can't actually take it. And since he has no legal moves that do anything, right? Like he has no legal moves that do anything. So he's likely to trade. And then once my queen's here, maybe he'll sacrifice a pawn. Maybe he'll try h4 and hang the bishop, which is protected. Okay, so he retreats the bishop, hits the queen. Queen's defending the rook. Keep that in mind. So we kind of should go here, and now we're threatening to win the rook because the rooks are not connected. So he made a move that forced our queen onto a square that creates threats. Okay, he's moving it again. We get a rook, he gets a queen. We get a queen, he gets a rook. That's a trade. if I move my queen, I'm still threatening his rook, but he could just trade rooks. If I moved my queen, where would I move it? No, I'm up a pawn. So let's go for the trades. And I'll just try to win in a king and pawn endgame. He has to take my queen, and he's very lucky that his queen is defended by a piece. Okay, he does not take my queen and just hangs checkmate. That was unexpected, but welcome. More than welcome. So I said he had to take my queen because he did. Let's go through the game. We get a Pirc on the board. And he plays a weird setup. Nothing to worry about, but nothing you're going to checkmate in 5 moves. Development and center. Improving move for free. You know, black's already equal. So, as white, you got no opening advantage. Black didn't have to do anything to equalize, so it's just a game. E5, center. A little bit space, development. He pushes past. It's not good for white. Is G5 a move? Oh, I'm glad I didn't play it. So C6, knight C5, A5, all, well, some moves I mentioned. G5, and white's slightly better. Probably because he's not castled and stuff yet. So we play C6. Says it's the top move now. Turn off the engine. And then improving a piece for free. You know, improving our position, solidifying the knight, creating space for the rook potentially. Just an even game. He tries to prepare it, and prophylaxis. That's what this move is prophylaxis, stabilizing the knight. En passant, and positionally, not so good for white. Once I take here, I didn't find the right move, which is knight a4, immediately taking advantage of the dark squares that you can hop into. So if you go here and he moves his knight somewhere, I don't know, here let's say, we're hopping in to hit the queen. Queen has to go here. And then we're just coming in with c takes d and queen a5. Oh. So it's a pretty concrete line that takes this one moment where the knight blocks the battery and you can hop to that square. We don't play that move though. We don't play the best move. We just go for the simple trade. And black is -1, a little more, so black is just better here positionally, which is what I suspected. You have an easy isolated a3 target, easy queen development with this check. This side is a little too spacious for the amount of stuff he has defending it. And I mean, black's position looks really nice. Oh wait, is g5 a move here? Okay, see, so there's a big difference. Here it is almost tied with queen a5 as best move. So these were the 2 moves I was looking at. C takes d is also possible, but keep the tension. Okay, so g5 and queen a5. So here when I do it, even though he's not castled, it's much more correct. I don't remember what the exact position was before, but for some reason I knew to wait till now. I don't know the specifics, but I was explaining it as I was playing, so you can rewind. Okay, he retreats the bishop. And now we do queen a5 check in a different move order. For some reason, it matters, but who knows. So yeah, I thought he was going to defend with the queen, and then I was just going to ignore him and do my own thing, knight h5, but he didn't do that. And it says this is a blunder. So from black being -1 to black being almost -4. What? Knight takes e4. I said that we have these moves if the rook is open, but the rook is not open. But they're saying if you take this pawn and he takes your knight, what, we just then play f5 there? If he just tries to save his king or develop, you trap the bishop. That's clever, right? So here, you play f5, and now you're threatening to trap the bishop, as well as open up towards the king. So if he tries to protect the king, he loses the bishop. If he tries to protect the bishop, he doesn't lose the king, but you attack the king and open your rook. Although it is a piece sacrifice, so you better calculate a lot further than that. So anyway, that didn't happen. It's also a blunder because c takes d. Let's say c takes d. Oh, it's just a forcing move before you throw this same thing. And then knight h5 is the only other good. I mean, they're all good moves, but the next best move. So if you don't plan on taking this pawn, the next move that the engine really makes sense is knight h5, which is what we played. You're still completely winning at -3 without any sacrifice, with no calculation at all. You just intend on putting your knight here. And that's the nice thing about positional chess. Like, if I see a tactic, I'll do it, but I don't want to pick lines that force you to calculate weird tactics for no reason. There's a difference. And now that we vacated the knight, we're ready for f5. Before we do f5, we throw in this check. Slightly inaccurate, because maybe it helps this king, they're saying. I don't know if I buy that, but it's the engine, so they're of course right. He moves back. Now we throw. Oh yeah, we didn't play f5 just yet. We took the pawn because we said we had all the time in the world. It is the best move, although f5. I mean, f5 is super interesting. I don't remember if I was looking at it here during the game, but f5 looks interesting. But we take the pawn first because I feel like we have full control over the position. He hits our queen, so forced move. He hits our queen, and we go for this tactic. I mean, you could just move your queen anywhere and maintain, and then he could trade rooks and lure your queen to a3 if you want. So it's kind of similar no matter what. But I figured since we're up a pawn, I'll just go down this weird line where he has to take my queen. So he just got checkmated and won. But if he takes my queen, I take his queen. He takes my rook. So that exchange was materially even. But then I looked at this position and I'm like, okay, he has to spend a turn again with his king, again with his bishop, then he can get out his rook. This bishop, maybe if it's here, it could find work. But if it doesn't get here, or if this pawn's protected, not so useful. And besides, it's my turn right now. So f5 is easily coming because you want the extra rook option for defense, right? You want to be able to clearance some room. Also, you want to play f5 for so many other reasons. Your bishop, the rook, his king. So, and I was going to play this endgame and say, good luck to you, white. But then he blundered the game and won. So we have a bunch of inaccuracies, but no mistakes and no blunders. So it's the Pirc defense. You will definitely have lots of inaccuracies and mistakes and blunders. So we played an overall solid game against this guy. He made a couple blunders and it gave us the advantage. We were a little bit better the whole time and just squeezed out a win. A one move checkmate, actually. Good luck in your chess. See you in the next video. Bye bye.